you never fallen asleep at your desk before? We're chilling. Totally not napping. They're so pretty. Ah, okay, I'm seeing the picture. Well, that's a transition if I've ever seen one. I don't think I would trust the chipmunk. There she is! She's so pretty! Hello, friends and gamers. We are back in Punishing Grid, and today we are still in the Across the Ruined Sea update, and I just spent a full hour fighting Lithos in the Exodus Memoria Challenge event. So I would like something a little bit more chill, because now my hand hurts. My hand hurts and I'm in sweaty gamer mode, so I want something a little bit more chill, which means we are going to go and tap into our bonus story called Slumberland, if I can click on it, which is the special story stages for the Dreamcatcher coding for Impura. So we're gonna do them. I know that these PGR story special event things sometimes can get a little bit dark, and considering we have Dark Butterfly Live, I don't know what's gonna happen. So if any part of the story itself is cut from this video, it's because it gets a little bit too dark and I don't want to deal with getting demonetized for that. Looking at you, Roland, I'm looking directly at you. But we will be going into as much of the story as we can. So we're going to start with part 1, Whispering Forest. They might all be called Whispering Forest. I don't know. We're just going to get right into it. And it is really literally just story stages. I don't know how many full stages there are because there's not even like event bits. There's not like little extra black cards and things we can get. So I don't know how long we'll be here, but we'll see. This is also where we get to try out the coding as well, so that's fun. Whispering Forest. This is what the forest seems to be mumbling as the breeze gently ruffles the leaves. Let us play the story. My hand hurts so much. I'm not even kidding. I need something chill, and this has no combat, so this is perfect. In the absence of all the usual passers-by, the quiet hallway appears more frigid than ever with the cold lights that illuminate the place. Standing alone in the middle of a passageway for a good few moments, not a few good moments, you finally remember what you came here to do. Ah, it's about what I'm going to do after graduating. Huh, that's a little bit that's a little bit ironic. Walking down the same passageway, I should wait for this to load in because it's going very slow. Walking down the same passageway you've taken only too many times. You reach that certain office you can't be more familiar with before you know it. Right before you press the doorbell, however, you hear a weighty voice coming from inside the room. And the voice says, "Come on in." 3 green flashes later, the electronic lock unlocks, allowing the Aloy door to part to either side. Aloy, that's how you say it, right? I'm not just like Genshin brain, which would technically be Horizon brain. Anyways, good day, sir! Walking into the minimally decorated office, you see the man shutting off the sand table he was using for planning. What is a sand table? Is it just like a table with like a big screen on it? Because that's the only thing I could think of in this context. So our instructor, Lovely, says, "I wanted to talk about your plan after graduation." This is so ironic. I'm gonna keep my opinions to myself. He says, "I'm not going to stick my nose into your business, but I need to know your reasoning behind your decision as your instructor." What is our decision that we made? Oh my god, wait. How ironic is this? How ironic is this gonna get? Why did you turn down Command Central's invitation and apply to be a frontline commandant at the task force? So this is actually us then? Is it us? That's weird. The shrewd eyes staring right at you now are the same eyes that have been watching every single student since you entered the school. You sense neither encouragement nor discontent from his tone, but solemnness and gravity. There is no doubt that those eyes will see right through any petty lies and excuses you come up with. I don't know. I would say just get good at coming up with excuses. Get better at lying. Because we say, you can feel the world shaking violently as you open your mouth to speak. Oh my god. Canonically in-game, we are like how I am IRL. I'm somebody who like, it does not matter if I'm like upset or not. I can be like totally confident in my decision, but if I have to like talk about it, I start getting like shaky. I don't know what it is. I can't be the only one because we're doing the same thing here canonically. Oh, there's another voice. Is it our voice? I don't know because it says Commandant. Could you? And then darkness ensues. So it's like a nightmare? It could be like a nightmare scenario. Yeah, okay. Because Slumberland, yeah. Okay, so this is like our past. Because here's Liv. I might have to go get some tea because my throat is like giving out. I screamed at Lithos a little bit too much. Opening your eyes, you find yourself in the lounge with Liv standing right next to you. Looking at you with a worried expression, she has one hand on your shoulder while holding a medical device with the other. Okay, so we were just nightmaring it up, Nightmare Central. The screen on the table shows a report in the making. The first half of it seems normal enough, but the second half is littered with strings of garbled letters and symbols, a telltale sign that whoever was typing landed on the keyboard with their face. We fell asleep at our computer. Listen, you at least had to be smart enough to push the keyboard out of the way. Come on. Have you never fallen asleep at your desk before? Rookie mistake. Rubbing your slightly numb face, you return your gaze to Liv. And she says, "What are you doing sleeping here?" "A little too tired, I guess." "It happens. We've all done it. We've all fallen asleep at a desk before. We've all done it." We say, "Don't worry, I was just taking a nap." Yes, we've all done the desk nap. I used to religiously do a desk nap during lunch in high school. No, I didn't have lunch. I had snacks throughout the day and would sleep at my desk during lunch. I don't recommend it. Please eat lunch. Snacks are not substantial nutrition, but my god, I was so tired. None of the words put Liv's mind at ease. Yeah, no, it wouldn't put my mind at ease either. You put up your hands in defeat, seeing Liv all concerned about you. And we say, I thought I'd have a few checkups done too. So we also ask if Liv can do us a favor. And she says, "Shift your head backwards a little and remember to relax." Oh, that's a weird way of putting it, but you know what? Okay, Liv. Okay, I trust you, Liv. Completing the checkup in a breeze, Liv lets out a sigh of relief. So is Liv giving us like a little health check? Understandable. You know what? If I had gotten one of those when I was falling asleep at my desk in class, that would have been really helpful, actually. I needed one of those. "How long do I have, Doc? How long do I have?" She says it depends on how you manage your health. Going to sleep now, for example, will be mighty helpful. You know, we're literally just napping at our desk. It's probably nighttime. Just go to sleep at that point. You're not gonna get any work done. You might as well just go to sleep and figure it out in the morning. Especially, this is like not school. It's like a work scenario setting. You can get more time to do it. It's not the end of the world if you need an extension for like something like that. It's literally not the end of the world. Even in like a school scenario, it's not the end of the world. If your teacher doesn't want to give you an extension on something like that because you're like actually having health problems, they're a horrible person. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Not everything is set in stone is what I'm saying. In the real world, not everything is like, it must be done like this or you're gonna die. Like, it's not, no. We say, but I've still got work to do. You will have time. Time can be made for the work. If you need more time to do it, you can have more time in most scenarios, like 99% of the time. Liv says, "Let me help you with the paperwork then. You can go to sleep earlier if we finish everything ahead of time." Yeah, asking for help is also not a bad thing. I think more people need to ask for help more. Me especially. I myself need to do that. We say, "Now, your mind rehab session for the day." And Liv says, "Is completed." You weren't late for today's rehab session. Do we do that? Do we do that too? We say, "Of course not." With it, both you and Liv break into a wry smile. For the time being, neither of you is in any condition to fight, but with the degeneration of your muscles and the occasional migraines occurring in Liv's mind. So I think this is something story related that I don't necessarily know what's going on with. I don't even know if it's related to anything, but it's fine. With the help of an exoskeleton, you've taken part in a few non-combat assignments. Except such assignments don't come by every day. It's because I know the most recent story update is, I think it's just Lucia with Bianca. So that would make sense that this is what we're doing off to the side. So it's like, you don't need to do this for it to make sense with the story, but like, it's there. But an exoskeleton is but a short-term solution in the broader picture of making a full recovery. The war has turned white hot, and you know for a fact that Lucia and Lee are far too competent and they can't stay in Babylonia with Liv and you. Probably for long. I thought that's how the sentence ended, so I was reading it like it kept going, but then anyways. You want to be at the front line fighting with the team, but decided to stay behind to perform desk work while rehabilitating instead, after being convinced by them. You see, it's interesting because I'm not fully caught up with the story yet. I've said this. I'm taking a break from the story so I can build my team up more because my team, I was not cutting it for where I was in the story. And it's really interesting because I think I'm just now getting to the part of the story where this like quote unquote war starts. So it's like, okay, I get it. I see this. I see how this happened. Or like what happens afterwards, I guess. But like I have a little bit more of the background, you know? Anyways, Liv says, "I wonder what happened to Lee and Lucia though. Cause no hiccups to the war. Lee and Lucia always make it a point to only contact you when they're back at their base for maintenance. According to them, they've seen small-scale victories in their combat zone. So the Grey Ravens are currently broken up, it seems like. And we just have to trust them. And we need to try our best in what we can do." And Liv says yes. Having worked off the negative vibes, you find yourself concentrating once again on the report. Then, As you go ahead to delete the string of garbled letters and symbols with the delete key, you reach out for the coffee cup sitting right next to you. Hey, no coffee. We're going to sleep soon, remember? Sleepy time? Yet, much to your surprise, you touch a warm, soft hand instead of a coffee cup. Liv has clocked it. She's like, no coffee. You're gonna go to sleep after this, remember? She says, how about something else for a change? Yeah, no coffee. Too much of that is not good for your health. I would know. I had to stop drinking coffee because I had too much of it. Liv passes you a different cup. Giving off white steam, the cup has amber-colored tea sitting in it instead. Oh, what's this, we ask? A decaffeinated herbal tea. You should refrain from consuming any more caffeine for the day, given that you've already consumed 180 milligrams. I don't know. How much coffee do I usually have? Is 180 a lot? I'm like, wait, is 180 a lot? I think it's a lot. I do think it's a lot. Hold on. 1 cup of coffee is like 95. So if we round it, that's like 8 ounces for American friends. But also, there's a question on Google that asks if 200 milligrams is a lot. And it says that 200 milligrams of caffeine doesn't cause any significant harmful effects in healthy people. And a healthy adult can consume 400. I'm not a doctor, don't quote me on any of this, but this is from a article on Google. So 180 isn't that bad. I'm pretty sure I have more than that, but just not in coffee, you know? I guess if we're like recovering from like an injury, then it could make sense. But also if it's, I don't know. Like 180 doesn't seem, I'm like, is that a lot? Because it's not a lot. How much caffeine is in green tea? Now I'm curious, because that's what I drink. Green tea and like matcha, which I know are not the same thing, but I like both, so I have them interchangeably. Yeah, no, a cup of matcha is 70 milligrams. And I'm curious what's green tea. Green tea is like very low. Okay, so this would be like 4 cups of green tea. This is why I go for green tea, because you can have more. You can have more, and green tea is so cheap. It is so cheap. Life hacks. Drink a lot more green tea than coffee. It's cheaper. I'm just saying. Anyways, that's our caffeine talk for the day. I am not a doctor. Drink responsibly. Liv explains in a serious tone. Probably best to listen to the expert here, since she's the one taking care of the team's health. But Liv, I don't think you're a caffeine expert. I consider myself a caffeine expert, Liv. I am not a doctor. Taking a sip of the tea, you can taste the warm fragrance of the liquid making its way down your throat before it reaches your chest, easing you of most of the pent-up fatigue from work. Liv, on the other hand, has taken a seat across from you and begun sorting through the remaining reports. See, this is nice. It's okay to ask for help. You know the meme? It's okay to ask for help. Which one on the team is, murder is okay? That's like the 4 pictures from Tumblr. The faintly glowing screen, the sound of keystrokes, the fragrance of the tea, and a Liv working away at the reports. The room is quiet and peaceful, seemingly having nothing save for these left in it. It's been so long since you last felt the same ease of mind. Liv says, I need you to go over some parts of this report. Okay, sure, yes. Is that the end of the story stage? Or I know story stages are usually super long. So we have a little bit of a jump, and Liv says, this is the last one, so we've gone through all our work together. You go over the report before signing your ID number on it. The whole process of sorting through the documents was supposed to take you through the entire afternoon. Wait, we fell asleep at our desk in the middle of the afternoon? Bruh. Yet, here you are, having reached the end of it in under 2 hours, with the 2 of you working on it. You know what, I say bruh, but also I literally just went on a whole side story rant about how in high school I would take naps midday at my desk. So you know what? I'm one to talk. I still love like a mid to late morning nap though, so like I really am one to talk. Boy, that was fast. Pouring tea into the now empty cup, Liv appears out of it as she keeps her eyes fixated on the global warfare map. Oh wait, she's thinking about her friends. What are you looking for, Liv? She says, I'm trying to pinpoint Lucia and Lee. Yeah, she's worried about them. Aww. I mean, because I missed their call from last night. Okay, so they didn't call. So I'm assuming then maybe are Lucia and Lee main story buddy with Bianca? Possibly. It's not your fault though, Liv. Oh, she missed her. Okay, no. It says an episode of migraine, so like she had a migraine. Hit Liv out of the blue right before Lucia and Lee dialed in last night, plunging her mind, which hasn't even made a full recovery yet, into an extremely unstable state. Now, you can't help a migraine. Sometimes they just happen. Happens to the best of us, Liv. I was literally about to get a migraine from fighting Lithos in the last PGR video. I would have kept going. If I had kept going, I would have also had a migraine. After stabilizing her condition with the cable you carried and a deep mind connection, you managed to establish, before things went out of hand, You put on your exoskeleton and ran up to the Star of Life with Liv in your arms. Why is that so dramatic? Liv was still under treatment when Lucia and Lee dialed in. Yeah, so based on where they were calling from last night, so we did get to talk to them. Staff list, resource provision, and engagement status. All the information about a certain base pops up when you put your finger on it. And they should be here. Lucia and Lee's names are on the staff list, with 2 short lines preceding their names, respectively. What is the 2 short lines? Frame damage. Oh, 15.32%. That's not bad, I don't think. Infection is 0%. Yeah, no, that's not bad. Based on their battle report, the 2 seem to have found a branch of the Red Tide on their own, without the warning of a support type construct. I haven't gotten to Red Tide yet. I do vaguely know what it is. I think from... Actually, probably could be from Roland's story now that I think about it, but I do vaguely know what it is, but I haven't gotten there yet. They put indicating beacons in place during their battle with hetero creatures. While the beacons had only a minimal effect in guiding the garrison at the base, they managed to sever the branch with their accurate attacks all the same. And Liv says, if only I were there too. Liv, it's okay. But I get why she wants to be there, because she probably feels like she's not helping, sort of thing. And Liv is one of those people who feels like they need to be helping. And you know what? I'm one to talk, really, but she keeps her eyes fixated on the very first line of the report. It briefly mentions the resources the base needs more of, with a special note stating that all squads are in need of help from support-type constructs, and Liv is a support-type construct. So that's why she probably feels bad, because she is here and not there. Moral of the story, we need more supports. But I am sure you'll be able to get back there in no time. Liv says, and that's if they manage to improve remote deep mind connection, right? Is that because we can't go for a while? The deep mind connection helps to stabilize the migraine coming from Liv's mind, and Asimov is working with the rest of his team to figure out a way to establish the connection remotely without a cable. I guess maybe just because we can't get in there because we are we're not fighting. But Asimov said we'll be giving it a try soon. Is that where we end up with how do we get from here to Dreamcatcher? Grey Raven will be back on the road whole as soon as we have that technical barrier taken care of. Okay, there it is. Nodding her head, however, Liv suddenly looks troubled with what seems to be an abrupt thought. She says, by the way, I understand that Professor Hippocrates asked you to exercise your body, but I'd still suggest that you steer clear of ground missions before you make a full recovery. I don't know what happened to us that we're so messed up, but honestly, you know what? Vibin'. Yeah, I'll try to. Liv's eyebrows frown slightly at your reply, but lucky for you, Liv raises another question, letting go of the subject. She says, what are we going to do now, though? Take another nap, but not at our desk? Yeah, about that, we say. Liv means well, but it's no doubt much too early for you to hit the hay now. There's that, if we take a nap now, because realistically, what? It's 3, 4 in the afternoon, maybe? It's a little too early. And if you take a nap now, you're gonna be up all night. You finished your rehab session for the day in the morning, but you have to make an appointment a day in advance if you want to get to your next session. And if you don't want to do too much of that in one day, because then it's not helpful. You have no idea what to do. Oh, does Liv got any plans though? Yes, Liv, I am asking you. She says, are you asking me? Yes, because we have nothing going on. She says, I don't know either. But with the ringing of a call filling up the room, you and Liv stop in your tracks. When you take the call, a hologram of Asimov appears. This is just what we need. Come on. Oh, I should probably move because now I'm covering Liv. It's fine. We're paying more attention to Asimov. It's fine. Yeah, he asks, where are we? In the lounge. We're chilling. Totally not napping at 4 in the afternoon. Is 4 in the afternoon? I feel like 4 is the evening. I think it depends. He says, stop whatever you're doing now if it's not super urgent. I need you to come down to the Science Council now. I mean, we were literally just mulling around figuring out what to do and you just gave us a thing to do, so. With bags darker than ever under his eyes, Asimov speaks in a serious tone. Doesn't he always speak in a serious tone, though? Yeah, oh, what's going on? He says, I can't get into the details on the line, but I'll fill you in on the situation when you're here. Remember to bring Liv with you. He says that Liv is not right here. She says, eh? Liv is surprised at the mention of her name. Yeah, Asimov probably didn't know she was there. Okay, he figured, though. He says, Liv is there with you, right? Bring her with you. All right, we say. And with it, Asimov hangs up. Liv says, why does he need us, though? Liv, it's for the mind thing. I have no clue, though. But I bet it's something important. What else would it be? We just were talking about how he's working on the deep mind connection thing. Bro, what do you think it is? What do you think it is? You rise from your seat, taking a moment to really appreciate the fact that you're now in much less pain thanks to all your rehab sessions and nutritional management. Health is wealth. Be healthy. I don't know. Liv asks if she can give us a hand, and we don't really... Yeah, we're fine. We're literally fine. I'm fine, don't worry about it. With the help of a crutch. Oh my god, wait, how badly were we injured? What happened? I missed the season. I just got back to this game. But you slowly make your way to Asimov's lab, taking into account the rehabilitative effects of walking. I can't read. You decided to go on foot instead of in a wheelchair. You know what? Do what you gotta do. If you needed a wheelchair, feel like if we needed a wheelchair, we should have used that. All the while, though, Liv keeps her eyes closely on you from behind. Thank you, Liv. When the door to the lab opens, you are caught by surprise. It's Hippocrates! I've never seen them. They say, I see you're making headway with your recovery. They're so pretty. Professor! It's none other than Hippocrates, the very person responsible for treating you and Liv. Standing right behind her is Asimov, who's keeping his eyes fixated on the screen in front of him as strings of complicated-looking readings and charts flash past. Why are they working together when they're from different departments? Because it's related to us and our thing. Wait, we say. Hippocrates says, and judging from the look on your face, I gather you figured out why Asimov had asked you and Liv to come down here, and we got the serious music playing. Does it have to do with the Impera frame? There we go. You've made headway with the deep mind connection. Why does the M look like that? What happened to the M? Deep mind. We're going to deep mind. Oh, it's Impera. Hippocrates says, unfortunately, no. But we received some data from the probe we'd left in the Impera frame. These data might help further enhance the deep mind connection, and Asimov is working on visualizing the data. So this is how we get to Impera from where we are currently. If I do remember correctly, though, the last time we had story with Impera, it was like a lot. Like it was like spicy. So Asimov says done, and looking up, he turns the screen this way, which now shows a bird's eye view of a dense forest. Ah, okay, I'm seeing the picture here. What's this, we ask? And Asimov says, I'll start from the very beginning. You do still remember what you had to go through to get Liv's mind shards back, right? No, I don't, because I wasn't here for that. But of course, canonically of course. After bringing Liv to safety, you filled them in on what you'd gone through, missing not so much as the most minute of details, with the hope that they'd turn out helpful with repairing Liv's mind. I vaguely know what happened there because I was around for that update a little bit, but I do vaguely remember what happened. But Asimov says you found a 7th mind shard, and that's something we'd never found previously. After transferring her consciousness back to the Eclipse frame, we'd scan the Impera frame with signals of varying frequencies on a regular basis to see if we'd missed anything. But could it be? Spot on, he says. The signal is negligibly weak, but it is part of Liv. Dark Liv. Dark Liv is just a butterfly. We took a look at the data sent back by the probe. The bands seem very special, and I'd describe them as a dream. Asimov is trying to come up with a more appropriate, layman-friendly word, but Hippocrates says I'll take over from here. Here is an example. Do you remember how many people you passed by in the rehab center yesterday? No? I'd be damned if I did. Might as well ask me how many rolls of bread I've ever had. Oh, now I want bread. Stop, I can't have bread anymore. I can't have, like, real bread. Now I want bread. No. Bread rolls. Bread rolls. Hippocrates says, and I take it that you recall how much bread you ate. Now, that's definitely worth looking into. I would be damned if I did. She says people don't remember all the information that goes through the brain. We might experience certain things or think about them, but they don't become lasting memories in our brain. Asimov says it's exactly like what the professor said, and this particular set of data is showing us the same thing. They are the parts that Liv's mind ignored, forgotten, or if you will, rejected. So is it just like a dream she forgot sort of thing? Because that would make sense with the name of the event. Based on our analysis of the signal waveform sent back to us, we were able to more or less pinpoint the location of this mind shard that's projecting this forest. Asimov enlarges the window to the extent that it almost takes up the entire screen. Right in the center of the screen now stands the silhouette of a spire, with scarlet plants running around its length. That sounds like some punishing virus related adjacent stuff if you ask me. It is the punishing virus! Got that right. Asimov says it's only lightly infected, but it doesn't mean we can just ignore it, which is why we need you to clean up the contamination, in addition to looking into it. Yeah, one thing though, we can't walk. Worried, you turn to look at Liv, who you know shouldn't be risking herself over a mission like this with her mind still making a recovery. And also, we can't walk. We cannot properly walk. But I guess Liv would be the one going. Liv says, don't worry, I'm okay. But like, what about us? Hippocrates says, I know what's bothering you. Your safety will always be our top priority. We have an ample amount of time to get ourselves ready. Unlike last time, Asimov came up with a safety trigger program. What does that mean? Is it like a kill switch? And what it does is that if and when things get out of hand, the quote-unquote trigger will activate and force you to wake up. Okay, so it is like a dream kill switch. And feel free to pull the quote-unquote trigger yourself if the situation becomes such that doesn't allow you to continue probing. Won't hurt your mind, but will have no choice but to give up on this particular shard. Yeah, why does it have to be Liv, I guess? Like, couldn't someone else go in? Hippocrates says, I decided to ask you and Liv for help for another reason. See, this shard and the subconscious mind are similar in that they're both what make up the bottom layer of the mind. And the feedback of both their activities there will go a long way toward improving the deep mind connection. You just don't get samples of this kind of mind every day. I mean, I guess I get it. I feel like I don't know a ton about the deep mind thing because I missed the beginning of this story, it seems like, to know how important it is. But anyways, finishing her sentence, Hippocrates' face turns uneasy. She says, although I wouldn't want to go through all of it again to get another sample. Liv says, I have another question. And sensing the negative vibes in the air, again with the vibes, Liv speaks out. She says, how am I supposed to get inside my own mind shard? Fair enough. Hippocrates says, Asimov wrote you a program that will help you do just that. I'll take you through some fine-tuning first, though. Your commandant, on the other hand, will get in there when you're done fine-tuning. Great. Well, okay. We'll see you in a bit. Yep, great. After waving goodbye at you, Liv makes her way to the mind diving chamber following Asimov. Then, right when you try to stand up with your crutch, you are forced to sit back down. What's going on? Yeah, Professor? Hippocrates says Liv is bound to be affected one way or another when she's there in her mind shard. And so we say, what do you mean? Hippocrates says it might be her consciousness or her personality. But what it is will depend on which part of Liv this particular mind shard is. Is it gonna be Dark Liv? Because like in-game art seems pretty peaceful. It's just like a darker coding. I mean, to a certain degree, this whole thing is just like really getting to know yourself. Hippocrates, what are we talking about? And I was hoping you could take good care of her when you're both in there. Of course I will. I love Liv. Hippocrates pats you on the shoulder. Liv is like one of my OG faves, of course. Oh, well, that's a transition if I've ever seen one. So no longer feeling weightless. That was a big jump, I think. You can feel the rough bark of a tree against your back as you slowly open your eyes and take in the fragrance of the mud and budding grass. I thought this would have been like another part of the story, but okay. That was a real fast cutoff there. Filtering through the leaves above, the sunlight feels like a gentle touch to the skin, and the crisp calls of birds coming from between the trees travel through the valleys in the distance. Feeling a fluffy lump on the back of your hand, you look down and see that there is a chubby chipmunk sitting on it. I don't think I would trust the chipmunk to be that close to me. Then, as though an invisible string were severed, the forest is quiet no more. Turning into a fur ball, the chipmunk rolls off the back of your hand before it disappears into the depths of the forest. I mean, that's better than it like chomping our hand off. You stand up and spend some time collecting your thoughts. Where's Liv, by the way? Yeah, Liv? Your surroundings look exactly the same as what Asimov has shown you, except you don't see Liv around, who supposedly came in with you. Didn't she come in before us, though? I don't remember. Oh, okay, so a little flashback. Hippocrates saying you'll probably land at a different location from Liv, because this is our first attempt. What Hippocrates said back at the lab pops into your mind. It seems like you'll have to find Liv first, before starting your mission. Asimov also says from back then, the same way we'd be drawn to what we're most familiar with when looking at a messy picture, there is something that exists between a commandant and their construct that connects them. So you shut your eyes trying to get a feel for that certain something, except all you're picking up are choppy echoes that seem to be taking you nowhere. This is not unlike looking for a particular fish in the absolute dark expanse of an ocean. You know Liv is right around you, yet you're totally clueless as to where to begin looking. And right then, a shaft of light descends. So we open our eyes, and you see a butterfly with 2 pairs of wings and thin black stripes along its body, parting the green fluorescence. So is it actually like a normal-sized butterfly? You feel like you know the butterfly. The butterfly makes 2 circles around you, leaving traces of light to snow on you leaving traces of light to snow. I think it's light snow that seem to be telling you to follow it. So we're following the butterfly, and drawn by a sense of familiarity, you follow the butterfly as it goes. Following the butterfly, you travel through the wide expanse that's the forest, losing count of the times you've come across the same views. This sounds like that one other event, the Capriccio event. God, The butterfly's fluorescence is now your only source of guidance down the increasingly secluded path. And right then, you hear noises coming from up ahead. Someone is coming this way, walking on the grass. Is it Liv? She says, "Command it, it's Liv!" Her voice coming from behind the trees. Liv picks up her pace across the grass, and there she is now, standing in front of you. There she is! She's so pretty! Except she looks a little different from what you remember of her. This is such a pretty outfit. Even like in the story shots. A grandiose black dress envelops her exquisite body. Wow, okay. Giving her a solemn aura. God. The jade green wings behind her, however, add a dreamlike quality to her, and she seems as though she might just vanish in the wind if you so much as look away from her for a split second. She says, "Please stop looking at me like that," but it's such a pretty outfit. It really is. Looking around yourself, you can't help but feel flabbergasted by the view, having forgotten about the butterfly that had taken you there. So what's going on here? The Liv you're seeing is wearing a completely different outfit than what she was before coming in. And she says, "I don't know. I found myself like this when I woke up." Because that's the outfit, the frame for this shard, I guess. Anyways, Liv reaches for the wings behind her as she starts checking herself out. Okay, Liv. Yeah, maybe this is something your mind shard is doing to you, maybe? So Asimov said the same thing, she says. You have never seen Liv like this before. She's usually dressed in white and pink, but now she's dressed in like teal and black. It's so cool. It's literally so cool. She asks us how we feel. Oh, and we literally just say how we think she looks again. I think she looks great. Not in a weird way, but I think this outfit also fits her. With a sheepish look on her face, Liv seems happy with the compliment all the same, while looking slightly caught off guard. I mean, I'm the same way with compliments. She says, "I meant to ask you if you've noticed anything out of the ordinary about yourself, too. But still, thank you." Oh, look at her. She's so pretty. Never felt better. Yeah, yay. It's fortunate that your injury didn't get transferred over to this world. See, no, we're doing great. No injury. What about Liv? What's up with her? She says, "I'm not quite sure if this is something my mind shard has done to me, but..." Seeing you all baffled, Liv claps her hands 3 times. What is this, like a butterfly power? And with it, you hear noises coming from the trees. When you turn your head over, you see countless chipmunks poking their heads out everywhere. She can control animals. That's adorable. She is a fairy tale princess now. Among the bushes, above the treetops, behind the rocks, they're everywhere. This is more like a horror story with all these chipmunks. With their tiny black eyes traveling back and forth between you and Liv, they seem to have a hard time comprehending the sight of 2 human beings in front of them. We're gonna dive by chipmunks here. We have a kill switch though, so it's fine. She says it's okay. This isn't a bad person. So Liv can just control the chipmunks now. She's literally a fairy tale princess. And with it, the chipmunks all come leaping out. Before you're even able to react, you find yourself and Liv drowning in a sea of warm fur balls, rubbing your faces and palms. That's like, oh my god, you don't know where those chipmunks have been. Yeah, how did you find out you could do this? This is weird. You clap your hands 3 times when Liv isn't looking your way, and nothing happens. It's never been difficult for Liv to draw animals toward her, because she's always so gentle. But you know that what you just witnessed is on a different level than just being gentle, in quotation. She says, "I was just trying to brush all the dirt off my hands, and then these babies showed up. They're little babies." Yeah, can you get other animals to come to you? She says, "I did try to change the tempo and the number of claps. And I even tried mimicking the character from a TV show for kids." I don't know what that's a reference to, but it has to be a reference to something, right? Liv stops in her tracks. And, well, I tried all sorts of things, but the only thing I've managed to get to come to me so far is the chipmunk. How many chipmunks are in this forest? Maybe they all banded together to kill off all the other animals if there's that many chipmunks. With her hand still caressing a little fur ball, Liv looks away. You carry on speaking as you put on the ground a struggling chipmunk that just fell off your shoulder and was dangling off your chest pocket. Just a little straggler chipmunk. So let's try to bring each other up to speed. How much time has gone by so far? Liv says, "When I woke up," and when Liv finishes bringing you up to speed, you see that your diving point was actually 1 good kilometer away from Liv's. That you came here and in here at almost the same time. They just don't have the positioning system properly there yet, and that's literally what they said, so. Liv has a pair of wings similar to that on the Impera frame, except it doesn't allow her to fly, presumably because her mind has made it so. But why? Question, why? It seems like you won't be flying to the center of the forest, and it's your turn to fill Liv in on what you've been through. It's been like, oh, the butterfly. I was like, it's been like 5 seconds. What do you mean what we've been through? The butterfly. She says, I didn't see any when I woke up though about the butterflies. Should we do a quick round of scan? I think it's fine. I don't think, it's like a fairy tale forest. I don't think we don't fight anything in this stage at least. You want to learn more about the butterfly, but it's much too fleeting an occurrence for you to spend time on when you're supposed to be looking into the center of the forest. And we have a kill switch. That's right, we have a kill switch. So worst case scenario, yeah, we're sticking to our plan. She says, I'm analyzing the landscape and the paths. Can she not? Oh, what's up? She says, I can't come up with a path that can take us straight to the center of the forest with all the obstacles in the way. Let's just start walking to the center and we'll deal with the obstacles as we come to them. Can we not fight in here? We should be able to fight in here. We just say, that's fine. We'll see what the data feedback has to say as we go. Yeah, no, just start walking. Yeah, let's go. Just start walking. The chipmunks sitting on you and Liv start jumping off, apparently having sensed that you're about to leave. We also have an army of chipmunks. We're fine. We are unstoppable now. We have an army of these guys. As they leave, they stuff your pockets full of chestnuts, berries, seeds, and petals. Oh, that's really cute. They're giving us gifts. Then, waving its tiny claw at Liv, the last chipmunk disappears into a crack under the rocks. If we get in a pickle, we'll just call on our army of chipmunks. No big. Liv bids it farewell with a smile. It's really cute, actually. Oh my god, we're still going. This entire video is just going to be part 1. But it doesn't seem like this path is going to work. Liv says, I am trying to come up with a different route. So you thought a place like this would be a piece of cake for Liv. I mean, I don't necessarily know, because this is like a peaceful forest. And forests can be very like twisty and turny. I feel like Liv is more used to like barren wastelands, if I may, so I think it makes sense. Except, this forest is proving to be a lot more complicated than previously imagined. But on second thought, you realize the complexity of this forest. Yeah, no, that's what I was just saying. But the complexity should really be attributed to Liv's seemingly endless imagination. That's actually an interesting take I didn't think about. This is what happened shortly after you and Liv set out. The path through the forest isn't exactly trucker friendly, while your shoes with the extra thick soles are keeping your feet well protected from all the sharp stones on the ground. You still need to be absolutely careful so as not to slip off the moss. The trees, the grass, and the flowers, everything around you is of the same color. The forest has not a single trace of humans, and the cries of the insects seem to come from afar. Completely lost, you stay closely behind Liv. And suddenly, Liv stops in her track. And she says, hey. We say, what's the matter? So she says, this bridge here is a little different from how I imagined it would be, which is a little bit scary because isn't this her mind's creation? Shouldn't she know what it looks like? Caught by surprise, Liv seems at a loss for words. And we say there's only so much radar imaging can do. What does radar imaging have to do with this? Climbing over the rock in your way, you look up from the ground to see the view up ahead. And we say, see, this isn't something you need to. And then we get cut off. The last few words of your sentence get stuck halfway at your throat when you see what's up ahead of you. Lovely. In front of you now is a valley about 20 meters wide, with a quote-unquote bridge above it, connecting either side of the valley. Giving off a crystalline shine, the bridge consists of many, quote, discs. Why is there quotations? The same discs can be seen moving in irregular patterns around the bridge, enveloped in their somewhat dark surroundings. They're reminiscent of glowing lamps. I'm sorry, what? I need to see this visually. With a closer look, you see that the discs all have long tentacles or semi-transparent belts attached to the underside. Thank you, I hate it, actually. As though sensing that they're being looked at, some of the tentacles rise and wave this way. Oh, I hate it even more. They're sentient. Oh, wait! The music changed! The floating jellyfish is greeting you. Okay, that's kind of cute now, actually. They're not gonna kill us. It's because we have Liv here. She says, I never thought we'd run into anything like this. They don't seem hostile, though. Yeah, you never saw this coming yourself, too, because you didn't run into anything out of the ordinary the entire way. So it just, like, switched up out of nowhere. Someone is screaming outside. You want to see the jellyfish, too? Seems like the speed at which time passes isn't the only thing different between mind and the real world. This world seems to be full of strange things that can happen to you at every turn. Isn't that what's fun, though? And the fact that Liv was able to get all the chipmunks to hang around you is but an example of that. It's a dream world. It's kind of fun, actually. And with that taken into account, this jellyfish bridge really shouldn't be that big of a surprise. Aren't they going to dehydrate though? They're air jellyfish. It's a dream world. Anything can fly here, quite literally. As though trying to answer your question, a few enormous jets of water come gushing out from the depths of the valley, washing away some of the jellyfish that make up the bridge. Moments later, however, their places are taken over by other jellyfish. They regenerate. Having been graced by the water, the bridge now gives off a lucid shine. Yeah, do you know what's going on, Liv? Because I don't. I really just got here. She says, I think this just might have something to do with the story of the Magpie Bridge that I heard as a kid. Oh, wait. Liv seems unsure of herself as she speaks. In Kalong's folklore, the Magpie Bridge is a bridge formed by magpies squishing their bodies together on a certain day. And this jellyfish bridge does bear a resemblance to the Magpie Bridge. And don't magpies like shiny things? So she just is like, shiny thing bridge, you know? Although, one of them flies up there in the sky, while the other swims in the water. So this mine shard, then it means this mine shard is... This particular mine shard probably has to do with all the fairy tales I heard, she says. That's fun, actually. So we have another little flashback to Hippocrates saying we might experience certain things or think about them, but they don't become lasting memories in our brains. So this was what we just saw with them, because Asimov then says it's exactly like what the professor said, and this particular set of data is showing us the same thing. It's the ignored, forgotten, rejected parts from Liv's memory. What Hippocrates and Asimov said about this shard matches what you're seeing. People don't usually remember the fairy tales they hear as kids. I don't know. I remember some of them, but I always really liked fairy tales and like fractured fairy tales and stuff. Liv asks if we find her childish. No, I think it's really cool. Not at all. The other option was there's nothing wrong with being childish, and yeah, there's nothing wrong with being childish to like a certain degree. Liv is gentle and doesn't talk a whole lot, but she never fails to look after the people around her whenever she can. She's mature in every sense of the word. So it's okay to like childish things. Liv lets out a sigh of relief at what she said. And especially because it's a part of her mind that is like forgotten or rejected. If anything, I feel like that's kind of sad because like she like rejected her childish side and this is what is left of it sort of thing. If anything, it's kind of sad. And it's not like embarrassing because it's like we all have, if we were all constructs, we'd all have that. Everyone would have that little like childhood memories section that was just like pushed off to the side, right? Liv says, should I try to come up with a different route, Commandant? What's your take? I'm down for anything. I'm down for the jellyfish bridge. I'm down for going somewhere else. She says, I think I should probably take off my shoes first. We're going on the jellyfish bridge. Liv looks down at her lethally dangerous high heels. Okay, that's pretty funny. With Liv's approval, you step on the semi-transparent bell of the jellyfish, all the while feeling the slipperiness and bounciness of it. It's all good, Liv. Only need to stay low and go at this pace. So we're going slow. Liv says to come back now. Oh god, what's gonna happen? With it, Liv grabs hold of your hand. Except, too late now. Are we already using the kill switch? The bell crumbles down before it contracts inward and then hunches up. Oh my god, it's bouncy. Before you know what just happened, you find yourself and Liv coming face to face with a glowing jellyfish in the air, although you can't really for the life of you tell where its eyes are. Oh jellyfish, what wisdom do you seek? Before you begin falling through the air, however, the jellyfish whips out one of its belts and wraps it around you and Liv. Is this like jellyfish Uber? Except the combined weight of you and Liv seems too heavy for it, sending the jellyfish down into a straight fall like a parachute with a hole. This just gets more comedic. Fortunately, another jellyfish comes to your rescue in time with its belts. Working together, the two jellyfish float back up once again. It keeps getting more zoomed in on Liv. At the same time, the grip of the belt grows tighter still around you and Liv. Okay, so what's this thing, we ask? And you feel something soft. What did it say? I accidentally clicked through. As soft as silk against your back. Okay. Liv says my wings are getting squashed. From behind you, Liv now speaks in a tone so choppy and low that you can barely make out her words. Every last one of which seems to be coming out as the last strand of her being. Tied up tightly back to back, however, you can't see Liv's face. Oh, wait, so something as soft as silk against your back. Is it Liv's hair? That would make sense, I guess. Somehow, you seem to be hearing the hisses of steam. Let's change the subject. Yeah, that doesn't seem to be a bridge, I guess. She says, yep, I think this is exactly how we're supposed to get across the valley. From the corner of your eye, you can see that the jellyfish you stepped on at the very beginning is cleaning its bell of the dirt on it, using the dews coming off of a chunk of moss that it's holding with its tentacles. So it's like using the moss like a little washcloth. When it's done grooming itself, the jellyfish does look slightly shinier than it did just moments ago. It's trying to polish itself. And Liv says, I don't think they're trying to build a bridge cuddling up together. I think they're just trying to rest. And with a closer look, you see that Liv is right. The jellyfish that you initially thought was acting as the bridge's pier doesn't shine as brightly. With its bell going up and down ever so faintly, it appears to be under a light sleep. It's a little dream world, everyone's sleepy dreamy, ah. So we say, so what the jellyfish did to me just now when I stepped on it, just now it did what? Liv says that was probably just the jellyfish feeling grumpy, waking up. So we went bounty because the jellyfish was mad at us. Okay, understandable, have a nice day. Liv sounds at ease, sensing no harm coming from the jellyfish. But right then, your surroundings start growing dark. Moments later, you feel something hard against the bottom of your feet, and the grip around you lets go. And Liv is now at a normal distance away from us. Turning around, you see that the jellyfish is still there, and now it's trying to flatten Liv's crumpled wings. Oh, it feels bad. She says thank you all, but don't worry about it. The jellyfish, however, stays where it is. Its tentacles obviously not the most ideal of tools with which to flatten the creases. And so we say let me fix them for you, because we have opposable thumbs. I'm sure they won't let us go if I don't do it. The jellyfish are concerned. Looking up, you see that the jellyfish are still busy trying to fix Liv's wings. Because this is Liv's world and we're all just living in it, you know? Quite literally. I'm partially responsible for it, I guess. Liv says, well then, if you insist. And bit by bit, you flatten the creases in the chiffon-like wings in the gentle light coming off the jellyfish. So I guess the silk wasn't her hair, but it was the wings, which is like beyond me because these wings are like robot wings. They have like robot parts, so how would they crumple? Unless it's like this part, how would they crumple? What do you mean? Looking up at the jellyfish and then at Liv's wings, now being slowly flattened back to their previous state, you open your mouth to speak and say, this is just amazing. Liv says, this doesn't happen in real life though, does it? No, it doesn't. But we say, even with everything that seemed to stand in our way, people have made amazing breakthroughs and made the impossible possible. I mean, that's a little bit introspective, don't we think? We're in a weird dream realm. Gravity tried to hold humans down, but we found a way to reach the sky and even further beyond. Distance stood between us. Technology made it possible for us to connect with each other whenever we wanted. Lightning was once a power inspiring our awe, but we found a way to make it work for us. I mean, why is this suddenly getting so deep? I thought this was the funny dream world story with like jellyfish bridges and chipmunk armies. What are we doing now? Liv says, do you think there is a way for us to make what we're seeing here possible then? Not everything, because like the giant floating jellyfish is a bit much, and I don't think I would want that IRL ever, but like you could probably get close. Theme park maybe? The jellyfish form a colorful, fantastic view around you beyond description. There's probably like a museum installation somewhere with giant jellyfish like that, like one of those Instagram museums. I don't know, because like how much of a reality do we want it to be? Like this, do we want the whole place to be a full reality, like jellyfish bridge and all, or do we want like Instagram museum type of reality, you know? Let's just go with difficulty then. But we say, even if we're still so far from that day that we can't even picture it happening within our lifetime, I don't think we're actually saying this though, I think this is a continuation of the prior quote, we can still entrust another dreamer with our dream. You flatten the last crease on Liv's wings. Although still unable to take Liv through the skies, and now bearing a shell of scars, Liv's wings can open up again nonetheless. Are these not chunks from, like mechanical chunks though? Or are those like chunks taken out of the, I don't get it. We say there is not a wonderful thing that is not worth our time and effort, and that's true. This is what the forest seems to be mumbling as the breeze gently ruffles the leaves. Oh, that was pretty. That was actually really pretty. So, we cleared Whispering Forest. We will do Farewell Wonderland next time. I'm assuming there's maybe like 4 parts in this because it seems like it's like spaced out for 4 parts, but it could be 3. But we will do Farewell Wonderland next video. But that was it for Whispering Forest. It was cute. This is the coding though. I'm like, I want a better look at it. What are the wings? Okay, there we go. I can't zoom in, but like, no, they're like mechanical. Those wings are totally mechanical. Unless we're talking about the bottom. No, even the bottom wings are mechanical. What do you mean they got crumpled? It's mechanical wings. Weird. Oh, we can pull for it. I'm not gonna do it because I don't have Impera, but now I kind of want to continuously pull for Impera, but I have no black cards. So I don't know, we'll see. That one's iffy, that one's iffy. That is going to be it for this video. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more, and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. I'm gonna go get some tea, because my throat definitely needs it now. It hurts so much. I did 2 hours of recording back to back, and I should not have, especially because in hour 1, I was screaming at Lithos the whole time. As always, I hope everyone had or is having a super lovely day, wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!